everyone. If you like to just do namaskar and raise your kundalinis and do a band down. So this is the third week about the Agnya Chakra. And so we carry on. We'll just start by taking a few deep breaths so we can just help ourselves to relax more, to relax the mind. So take a few deep breaths several times. So breathe in. Hold your breath. And then slowly breathe out again. So do this a few times more. So because the Agnya Chakra is connected with the Muladhara Chakra, we'll just put our attention on our Muladhara Chakra, putting both our hands to the ground. Dear Mother Kundalini, please remove all negativities, anything that catches from our Muladhara, and please remove it and absorb it into the Mother Earth. Please awaken all those beautiful qualities of innocence, wisdom, and discrimination. Please steady our attention also. Let us be completely connected. Last Spirit. So just putting your hands back on your lap again. We're going to take the right hand and raise our Kundalini very slowly. So it passes each and every chakra. And bring it straight over your head, as if you're pouring water on top of your head. So just put your hand back down again. And we are going to put our attention on the Agnya Chakra once again. Of course, just to remind you, I'm sure you are getting familiar with this, but it is the crossing of the optic thalamus and the pineal and pituitary glands. That's what it is at the gross level, the physical level. So it covers, the functions are the eyesight, hearing, thoughts. It covers the right and left temple and the brain. So the qualities of this chakra is, of course, forgiveness, resurrection, humility, and compassion. So we can also feel this chakra in our fingers. All the chakras are color-coded in our hands and our fingers. So the Agnya Chakra is actually the ring fingers, as you see, the two ring fingers on either side. So when we actually feel the tingling on those two ring fingers, though, that means that there's some form of obstruction at the Agnya Chakra. If we're somehow bothered by something, or something's upset us, this will be affected. The Agnya Chakra gets a block, and of course that's prevents the Kundalini from passing through this narrow passage. And also it's located in our toes, as you can see. It's the second one in from the last toe. And it's often very good to do some massage in the hands and the feet using almond oil, or you can use olive oil, but almond oil is a good one because it has the cooling qualities. So we can rub the oil in our hands and through our fingers and our feet. So if you want to do it on specific fingers, that would be ideal to clear our Agnya Chakra if you want to specifically work on that. So of course it has the two petals and the element is light. So although the color says it's silver, it's actually white. The planet is the sun. So that the light is associated, that comes from the sun. So we benefit by being in the sun. So when we expose our forehead, that also helps clear our Agnya Chakra. And so I won't talk so much, but as you can see in the chart, these are the qualities it mentions and the physical functions, as I mentioned. But also there are problems when we overuse our left or right side channels too much. So it does affect the two balloons, so the ego and superego. And if we go too far on the left, of course, thinking too much of the past and worrying, we can develop so much of the superego, which causes depression, low self-esteem. And also with the right side, overuse of too much right side activities can also build up the ego, the opposite form of the I-ness. So in order to bring ourselves into balance with meditation, we can bring ourselves back to the center and allow the Kundalini to pass through this narrow passage, bringing us to that state of thoughtless awareness. That's where we want to be. So we'll just close our eyes Okay, and we'll just meditate on this chakra, and there will be the sounds that we can use, because each chakra has a particular sound which actually activates those chakras. So with this Agnya Chakra, we use the sound Om just twice because of the two petals. So we'll just start by drawing in a deep breath. Om. Once again, draw breath. Om. And the other sound that we used the other week was hum and kshum. So that means I am, hum, kshum. So we say hum, kshum. 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 So I just meditate for a bit before we listen to a talk by Shri Mataji. So just for a couple of minutes, just meditate. So we can now listen to a talk by Shri Mataji. It's only a short excerpt.
So here what happens that when the Kundalini rises, when she goes to the Agnya Chakra, which represents, as you say, the third eye, whatever you may call it, it is between the optic chiasma and it looks after the pituitary and the pineal body. And as a result, we have developed two institutions called ego and superego. The ego is the one which tells us, I have done it, I am doing this. Both these institutions are sucked in by the enlightenment of this center. And that's how the thing opens out. And all your karmas are sucked in. So there's no problem of karmas. Only human beings think that they are doing karmas. Animals don't. They have no sense of sin or anything. They are completely under the bondage of God. So in Sanskrit they are called as pashu, means under the bondage. But we are the ones who have got freedom. That's why we think that we have done this and we have done that. We should not do this, we should not do that. But when the Kundalini rises and she awakens the center, then both these things are sucked in. And when they are sucked in, then you do not do any karmas anymore. You just are in a karma. You do everything. I mean, I travel, such a lot, and I have a family, and everything is there. But it's just happening. I'm just seeing it. I'm not doing anything as such. So when you are also awakened, there's no obligation. It's just happening. It is so. Is here where we should understand this center is bestowed upon by the great life of Christ. Christ is there. And they said that He died for our sins, died for our karmas, is a fact. Because when He is awakened, these two institutions are pulled inside. And you get your Kundalini out there. It opens out. And this bone, which has been calcified, opens out. And the Kundalini pierces through. And this is what it is that He died for our sins. But still the theory is extended that we must suffer. Why should we suffer? He has suffered for us already. And is already written by Thomas, who was traveling to India via Egypt, where he wrote the treatise, and he said that why should we suffer? Christ has already suffered for us. And he's talked everything about Sahaja Yoga. He said it is an experience of self-realization and everything. And that book now is out in England. After 48 years, they could decode the whole thing, which was found about 48 years back in Egypt. And is out now, and is Beautiful Gnostics is the name of the book. But is not so much appreciated by some of the people because it challenges the theories of sufferings and confessions and all this nonsense.
You awaken the Kundalini at will.
Awaken the Kundalini at will.
Me or you? You cannot awaken yourself. You see, you have to have one enlightened candle to enlighten another candle. This candle, which is not enlightened, cannot enlighten itself. But there's no obligation. But you can correct. Once it is awakened, you can correct it, you can develop it. First, only few hair-like strands of this energy come up and open the fontanelle bone area, and then this flow of Ru starts flowing on you, and it relaxes more of the centers, so more of these strands start coming up. So you can develop it at your will by understanding it, but you cannot enlighten yourself by yourself. Now one thing is there obstructing Sahasrara is the movement of your Agnya into thoughts. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that stops your entry into Sahaja. Thoughts are coming all the time. Because a human being is born who reacts to everything. React to this and react to that, and the thoughts come in and thoughts go. There's a big crowd of thoughts. Because of that, your attention cannot cross over Agnya and can reside in the Sahasrara. So first of all, one should see what sort of thoughts are coming. You have to condemn yourself sometimes. You have to say, what nonsense, what have I been doing? What's the matter with me? How could I do all that? Once you start doing that, these thoughts will start disappearing. These thoughts are coming from two angles, one from the ego and another from your conditionings. And these are so much built up within you that they don't allow your Agnya to be crossed. That's why we have two bija mantras of Hum Ksham. First one is, when it is conditioning, you are endowed with this kind of a fear. I shouldn't do like this, I shouldn't do like that, is not allowed, that is not allowed. That's the conditioning part of it. Conditioning can be of many types. But the ego part of it is that I must overpower everybody, I must get this, I must be able to rule everyone. These two things are there in the mind which are all the time crossing. So it's important that we should go into thoughtless awareness. And that thoughtless awareness is the real way that your Sahasrara can be nourished by the Kundalini. Because Kundalini cannot go through, cannot pass through. And for that, as I said, there are two bija mantras. One is Hum, another Ksham. So if you are conditioned, you are frightened, you are afraid, and you had ideas about yourself. These days, the way people are describing, they'll say, I'm an extrovert. Somebody will say, I'm an introvert. Somebody will say, I'm hippie, I'm that. All kinds of things they can have attributed to themselves. But these ideas are all coming from outside. They are not from inside. To get to the inner side of yourself, to the subtler side of your being, you must allow the Kundalini to go through the Agnya. To cross the Agnya is a very important thing in modern times. And for that you have to meditate. If you can meditate with complete faith in yourself, this Agnya can be opened up. With surrendering to the Divine. You have to surrender yourself to the Divine. And when this Agnya opens, you'll be amazed. Your Sahasrara is just waiting to transfer, to give you all the help that you need through the all-pervading power. Your connection of Sahasrara with the all-pervading power is established. And by that you will be amazed how all these 7 chakras work for you. How they help you. How they try to give you whatever is the real knowledge about everything. This real knowledge that you get is very joy-giving. You can see this real knowledge in everything. You don't have to start reading any book about it. In every situation and in every person, in every flower, in every natural happening, you see clearly the hand of the Divine. Once you see the hand of the Divine, your ego starts disappearing. Once you say that it's you do everything. Kabira has said something great about this. He said that when the goat is alive, it goes on saying, I am, I am. But when it is slaughtered and its intestines are made into strings which are used for cleaning the cotton, then it said, tu hi, you are. See, in this symbolic way, they have suggested that you have to become dissolved into this divine power. It's the divine power that does everything. What am I? I was just a drop and I fell into this ocean of awareness of the divine power. And that is taking over and working it out. That will help you a lot to be a great servant.
So now we can meditate for about 5 minutes in silence. Just put your attention on your Sahasrara. And if there are any thoughts, just be a witness to it. You can even say, not this thought, not this thought. Just let go. Let's just enjoy that silence now. We can now, we'll just finish up by raising our Kundalini, doing our bandhan, and we can do our namaskar. So the important thing is that we try to be aware of ourselves, our thoughts, and try not to react to things, be angry, because that's what spoils our Agnya Chakra. So, you know, from our hearts with the compassion, and it's for our own benefit, even though it seems easier said than done, but really we are better off to forgive any situation that upsets us and not to get drawn into it or sucked into those problems or issues, whether it's a person or event. We're only hurting ourselves if we don't forgive. So in order to, benefit from this, to be in a state of thoughtless awareness and to enjoy ourselves as a pure spirit, the highest thing and the most powerful weapon is to forgive, because it is really for our benefit. So, with that, do what you have to do to keep yourself in joy. So I think we're finished now. So we'll join in our rooms now. Okay then.